Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. My name is Diane, and today we're going to be making a olive oil pumpkin cake. I got a lot of things going on in my life, and all of you out there that know Jesus, we need your prayers. My husband's going to be having surgery this Wednesday coming up, so we're just asking for prayers. But I thought I'd throw this video together because I love this cake. It's a pumpkin olive oil cake. It's nice and healthy. Just got simple plain ingredients in it. It's a great snack cake to have. So hey, let's get right to it. Here we go. Okay, so here are our ingredients. So we have flour. I have the King Arthur flour. Today I'm using the organic flour, but you can use cake flour, whatever you want. I found this recipe online a couple of years ago, and I've been using it. It's just a wonderful cake. I usually make it for Thanksgiving or Christmas or both, but it makes a wonderful, delicious, nice, dense, healthy cake. So it's flour, sugar, olive oil, that's organic olive oil, of course the pumpkin that came from Thrive, that's organic, baking soda, baking powder, salt, vanilla, ginger, clove, nutmeg, ground cinnamon, allspice, and 3 eggs. So here we go. Let's get started with this. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix all of our dry ingredients first. So of course I've got my scale and I've got it set to grams. If you don't have a scale, of course, do not worry about it. I'm going to take off the weight of the bowl and it goes to 0. I did a demonstration of this on a earlier video, so you can just go back and watch that. You don't need to get an expensive scale, just a cheap scale is all you need. But the great thing about having a scale is you don't have to worry about measure, you just dump, and if it's too much you take it off, if it's too less you just, hey, put some back in. So we're going to put all our dry ingredients. This is a really quick and easy to throw together recipe. You're going to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350, and we're going to start out with 3 cups of either cake flour or just regular plain flour. I'm using the King Arthur's organic white flour, and with that it calls for 3 cups or 360 grams of cake flour or regular flour. So as soon as it gets to 360 grams, we're going to just dump that over in the bowl. And it is so much easier if you have all your ingredients out, so you don't be trying to add stuff little bit by little bit. So just go ahead on and get all your ingredients measured out beforehand. I'm doing this for purposes of demonstration. So I'm at 363. And there you go, 360. Alright. So I'm going to just pop that over in there. Let me get my spatula right quick. You always need your spatula. I got one in something else, but I'm going to need this large one. So I'm just going to put that over in my mixer, because it comes together really nicely. So you don't even have to have a mixer if you don't have one. And it zeroed back out. So all the dry ingredients are going in first. So that was our flour. Then next is the sugar. The sugar calls for 3 cups of sugar. I have mixed organic sugar before. I have used just regular sweeteners like honey. I've kind of fooled around with this quite a bit and did some different things with it, but sugar's different than flour. So for the sugar in grams, it's 585. You can add a little bit less if you want, more if you like. But start out with the 3 first to see how it suits you. I know it seems like it's a lot of sugar, but we're putting a lot of stuff in here. We're putting a lot of spices in it, so it's not going to be too sweet. You can glaze or not glaze this cake. I use it when I make it, and that's too much. Let me take some out. All right. Very good. $5.87. I'm not going to fuss about that. That's great. All right, we're going to dump that over in there. Okay. My bowl didn't quite zero out. I don't think 1 gram is going to hurt. There's a little something in the bowl. All right, there we go. Zero that. So we got that in there. And then the next dry ingredients are your spices. So these are real easy. Cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. Everything is a teaspoon except for when you get to your baking soda, baking powder. Nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, cloves. If these don't appeal to you, you put in what you want. 1 teaspoon of salt. And then this is 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so we'll just dump that over in there. All right, very good. Get these out of my way. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to just raise our mixer up on very low. We're just going to mix it just till it comes together, maybe about 15 seconds. That's all you need to do is just till it comes together. So we're finished with our big bowl and with our scale. We don't need that anymore. All done. All right. So that's coming together nicely. That's quite enough. Okay, so now we're going to add in our wet ingredients. All of our wet ingredients are going to go in now. So, and then you're going to be finished with this and you're going to put it in your baking dish. I'm going to be using a tube pan today. I have put it in a loaf pan and it worked out fine. You know, a 13 by 9 pan. It worked out fine. I have used frosting before or no frosting. Whatever you want to use is fine. All right, quick and easy. This is your 1 cup of olive oil. And then go ahead and scrape and get that out. Mothers, this would be a great dish, cake, like a snack cake for you to put in your children's lunch. Put a little powdered sugar on it. I've done that before. Whatever you want to put on it. If you want to put a thin coating of icing, that would be good too. Here's my 3 eggs. Remember, I love my spatula. So I'm going to look at all of that was in there. So we're going to get all of that in there. And then here's my 1 teaspoon. I put a little bit more of pure vanilla extract. So I put maybe a teaspoon and a half. I just love that vanilla extract. Okay. You can add nuts to this. Ground nuts, ground walnuts, ground black walnuts are good. And then here's my, pull it back so you can see it. Here's my pumpkin. And this is the Thrive Organic Pumpkin. It is a 15-ounce can and it's 425 grams. See, they already, get that up there so you can see it. They already put the grams on there so you can see it. So the recipe calls for 430. So I'm shy of 5 grams. I think we'll be okay. I've made it before, and it worked out perfect. But this is just a real, and after we get this all in here, the only thing we got left to do is just to go ahead on and mix it up together. And then we're going to put it in our tube pan. It's already that's ready to go in the oven, a preheated oven. Always make sure you preheat your oven. Just turn that oven on when you start to getting your ingredients together. Remember, go ahead on and get those ingredients all measured out, and then that's something you ain't got to worry about trying to get together and get confused and mixed up before you do it. LB, this recipe is going to be good for your children, your babies. That's my cousin. my niece, I'm sorry, out in Indiana, and her husband, Mike. And two beautiful little boys. This is going to be a good, quick, easy recipe for you to make for them, and they'll enjoy it. All right, so we got all of that in there together. That's all you need. This is the recipe. That's the end of it. And we're going to start it out nice and slow and mix it. So the great thing about this is you can put whatever puree you want to put in here. This is the pumpkin puree, but I have did it with sweet potatoes. My brother loves the sweet potato one that I make, but sweet potatoes so good. I have done carrots. You just go ahead on and boil or steam your carrots, put them in the blender and puree them, and you need to add a little bit of water to it when you're doing to make it puree. I hope I said that right. So when you're doing your sweet potatoes, maybe about 3 large sweet potatoes, as long as it comes to 2 cups of sweet potatoes, you are fine. Or 2 cups of carrots, whatever vegetable or fruit that you want to use, it needs to be at least 2 cups. Zucchini, zucchini and carrots, whatever you desire to put in here, it's going to work out fine. All right, so that's looking good. We're going to go ahead and scrape the bowl down. Get all the way down to the bottom. All right. It smells so good. I wish you could smell this. Smelling good. Nice, healthy cake. And at this point, if you want to add some nuts, you can go ahead and add some nuts in there. That would be absolutely wonderful to do, just to add some nuts in there. But we're going to go ahead on and let this continue to come together. We're going to speed it up. And then when it's all done, we're going to put it in our cake tube pan. All right. Okay, so it's finished mixing and it looks real good. We're going to go ahead and take it off, and we're going to put it in our pan. Okay, so here's my tube pan. I just sprayed it with some olive oil. Put that over spray. Real good. And then we're going to just dust it with some, and this will help it so it does not stick. Dust it with some flour and a little bit of sugar. Okay. And it will just pop right out. You don't need to go in the store and buy that expensive stuff that's in the can. Works wonderful. I'm not knocking that. I love it. But this does just as good. Alright, let me switch this out so you can see it. And here's our wonderful olive oil pumpkin mix. So that looks good. And got it all stirred up, and make sure that everything is stirred down in there real good. That looks good. It smells good. I wish you could smell it. You don't need to mix this very long, just till it comes together. Like I said, the sweet potato is so good. But I got this because I did a Thrive order, and they had the pumpkin, I believe it was on sale. So this is the second one that I've made. I made one last month, and this freezes really well. So we'll eat, I'll cut it in half, and we'll eat it for Sunday dinner. Well, it's Saturday. We'll eat some for dinner today, a slice for dinner. Have some for Sunday dinner. And I'll freeze it, the other half. And sometimes I'll just take it to work and have a snack, have a little snack cake after my lunch. But it does so good, so very good. And it does good with walnuts, if you want to put walnuts in it, or pecans, whatever you want to put in it. It does really, really good. So that's not a problem. Anything that you want to put in works good. All right, and that's the consistency that you've seen how it came out. But I think if you don't have a mixer, either a stand mixer or a hand mixer, I think if you did it by hand, you would be fine. I didn't sift my flour because it's there's no need to. All right, that looks so good. Okay, get every little bit in there that I can. So these are wonderful spatulas. I love them. All righty. Now my oven is preheated. I heard the buzzer go off. I'm gonna knock some air out of this. And I got it on the bottom rack. It's gonna go on the bottom rack. It's gonna bake at 350 for about 55 minutes, depending on your oven. So you cook it according to your oven. I always do a test. Stick a knife down in there. If you have a cake tester, stick that down there. And if it comes out clean, then perfect. You don't ever want to overcook your cake because you don't want it to be dry. But after you do the test, you'll see whether it's ready to come out or not. But 350 in my oven for about 55 minutes, and it's good. Like I say, just watch it according to your oven. Okay, so here it is out of the oven. It's baked for about 60 minutes. Now we're going to let it cool in the pan on top of the counter for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to turn it out. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes, a little bit more. Still warm. I'm going to turn it over on the rack, let it completely cool, and then we're going to slice it and enjoy it. And there it goes. It came out perfectly. All right. And there it is. I think I just let it cool till it's completely cooled. So at this point, if you wanted to, and that's just a little bit of the flour that I drizzled in it so it wouldn't stick. At this point, if you wanted to make a simple syrup and drizzle on it, you would do it now while the cake is cooling. A simple syrup is just like a cup of water, a little sugar, and whatever flavoring or fruit juice you want to put on it. You put it on the stove and you let it boil till it comes to a nice boil and thicken up a little bit, and then you would just simply pour it over top of this while it's still in the pan, and then you would turn it over after it's set for about 30 minutes, and then you would pour some on top of it. That's just a simple syrup. But this is a nice moist cake, as you can tell. You don't need to do anything to it. You can sprinkle some powdered sugar over it after it cools, or just eat it nice and plain like it is. That's all you need to do. So we're going to let it cool. We're going to taste it and be right back. Alrighty, so I have flipped my cake back over on the right side up, and I just put it on this platter for demonstration purposes, but we're getting ready to cut into it. If you could smell it, oh my goodness, it smells so good. So we're going to use a serrated knife. Always use a serrated knife when you're cutting bread or a cake or whatever. It just does such a really good job. So let's just get right into this delicious cake. Yum, yum, yum. I'm going to cut a nice little size so we can see it really, really good. And that looks good. It's coming out. Yum, yum, yum. Look at that. Oh, look. So imagine if you had some little itty bitty nuts in that. Oh, you know what? I just had a thought. You could probably put some delicious white chocolate chips in there. Oh, some miniature ones. Just a few, not many. I bet it would be so good. But remember, this would be so good if you're having a banana with it, or maybe even a little bit of applesauce. Oh, that would be just terrific. All right, so that looks so good. Now we're going to take us a nice little taste. Of course, I know what it tastes like because I've had it so many times before. You better believe that is good and moist and delicious. You can taste the pumpkin, the ginger, cinnamon, the nutmeg. So remember, you can cut this cake in half and you can freeze it. You can sprinkle powdered sugar over it. You can make a little glaze out of confectionery sugar and a little bit of milk or a little bit of water. It'd probably be best if you use just a little bit of water. Leave it sitting out on your counter, depending on how many children you have. And just let it set out and let them snack on it. The recipe is going to always be down in the description box. You can find the recipe. Refer back to the video for the steps to follow how to make it. Go out, get your ingredients if you don't already have them. But these are just simple ingredients. You may already have them. If you have sweet potatoes, use that. That's what I make most often is with the sweet potatoes. And with the sweet potatoes, all you do is you boil them or you bake them, whatever you want to do. Put them in a blender. Add maybe about 1/4 cup of water to them. And puree them up real nice and smooth. And bam, put it in there. Long as you got the right amount of ingredients to go in it as far as the amount of cups, it's going to come out perfect. Every time I've made it, it's always come out perfect. Remember that you can do it. You can make it homemade. And homemade is always better than store-bought. Because you controlled the ingredients. And it's not going to have any of those preservatives in it that we're trying to get away from. So remember that I love you. Be blessed. And come on back for some more videos. And I'll see you later.